Chen Jinshan had a long, exhausting dream. He was an undercover narcotics officer, fighting a bloody 12-year war in a border county. When a bullet tore through his shoulder, he smelled blood and rotting jungle leaves. Then came the explosion, and his captain throwing himself over him. He watched his own vision float upward. 12 years on the drug task force meant seeing endless death brothers in arms, traffickers, innocent bystanders. He thought he was ready to die, but as his mind faded, he remembered his mother, Lu Gilan's bloodshot eyes, and his father Chen Shoye, limping under heavy bags of cement. In his heart, he whispered, "I am sorry, Mom and Dad. Your son did not disgrace you. I just cannot take care of you in your final days." Then, the darkness swallowed Chen Jinshan completely. A sharp crack jolted him awake. A piece of chalk bounced off his head as his teacher, Wang Maolin, shrieked his name. In the classroom, the ceiling fan creaked, and sunlight bathed his desk. He snapped his eyes open, his hand moving on pure instinct. He reached for his waist, but there was no gun, no tactical gear, no blade, only a hard wooden desk and a black pen on the floor. Then he realized he was tightly gripping the wrist of the girl next to him. Ling Jixia was pale with pain, her lips trembling. Tears pooled in her eyes as she whispered, "Let me go." The entire classroom erupted into loud laughter. Someone shouted, "Did Chen Jinshan lose his mind sleeping?" Others started mocking the way he had just moved, like he was drawing a knife. Someone else asked if she was all right. "Did he hurt you?" Hearing the name Ling Jixia pried open 12 years of buried memories. He released her, staring at the red mark on her wrist, then at his own young, clean hands. "I am sorry," he rasped. "I am sorry." The sudden apology cut the laughter dead. Everyone stared at him like he was a monster. Ling Jixia froze, a single tear clinging to her lashes before slipping down. "Chen Jinshan, how dare you bully your classmates?" shrieked the teacher. "Sleeping in class, disrupting discipline, and now getting physical. Get out and stand by the door." In his past life, Chen Jinshan had hated Wang Maolin the most, hated his favoritism, hated being called useless trash. But looking at him now, there was no hatred left, only a profound, surreal confusion. "I told you to get out. Look at yourself, slacking off every day, causing nothing but trouble. If I were your parents, you would have driven me to my grave by now." Those words stabbed like needles into his chest. His eyes turned ice cold. The teacher had taught for years but had never seen such a gaze in a 17-year-old. It was dead, freezing, carrying the lethal edge of someone who had seen blood. The teacher took an involuntary step back. "What do you think you are doing?" he stammered. Watching Chen Jinshan walk away, the teacher's face flushed with embarrassment. Finally, he forced himself back to the podium. "Turn to page 37, everyone. We will study reciprocals." Out in the hallway, Chen Jinshan leaned against the wall and closed his eyes. The warm sun washed over him, but his bones still remembered the jungle cold and the burning bite of a bullet. He pinched himself hard. It hurt. He was 17 again, in his final year of high school. Back then, he had abandoned himself. Struggling with failing grades and poverty, he hid behind truancy, internet cafes, street fights, and cigarettes. That May, his father would break his leg at a construction site, and the contractor would flee without paying a dime. His mother, Liu Gilan, worked all day, nursed his father all night, and still did his laundry. Within a month, her hair was half gray, but the teenage Chen Jinshan understood nothing, spending every night playing League of Legends at the local internet cafe. When she came to find him, he would scream at her to leave him alone. The day the college entrance exam scores arrived, he scored only 217. His father just stared at the paper in bed, silent and weeping silently. That night, dragging a leg fresh out of a cast, his father sneaked back to the job site to earn tuition for his son to repeat the year. Overworked, his father suffered a fatal stroke. On the funeral day, Chen Jinshan was still at the arcade. His aunt slapped him and dragged him home. Only before his father's cold corpse did he realize his failure. Within 6 months, his mother was diagnosed with terminal stomach cancer. On her deathbed, she gripped his hand, whispering, "My boy, when Mom is gone, take care of yourself. No more fighting, no more worrying. Get a real job, get married, live a quiet life." When she closed her eyes, his world shattered. He knelt at their graves for 3 days, then enlisted to serve in the harshest border patrol unit, eventually joining the narcotics squad. When the bell rang, Wang Maolin walked past him, stopping briefly. "Write a 1,000-word apology letter before evening study," the teacher said with a conflicted look, and hand it in. Chen Jinshan walked back to his desk. Zhao Ye, His dark-skinned classmate with a buzz cut slapped his shoulder and whispered in awe, "That was incredible, man. The way you scared Melon out of his mind. I have never seen him like that." Zhao Ye was his only true friend back then. Slipping a pack of cigarettes out, he winked. "Let us hit the restroom for a smoke." He nodded and followed. They slipped into the boys' bathroom behind the main building. Zhao Ye lit one up for him. Taking a drag, Chen Jinshan coughed on the harsh, cheap tobacco. "What is with you today?" Zhao Ye asked. Melon yelled, "And you did not even fight back. Plus, you actually apologized to Ling Jixia." The sun must be rising from the west. Chen Jinshan fell silent, then looked up. "What is today's date?" "Exactly. Are you out of your mind?" Zhao Ye laughed. "It is April 12th, 2012. We have less than 2 months until the exams. Did you forget that too? April 12th, 2012? He repeated the date. The burning cherry touched his fingertip, and he threw it down, crushing it. Outside, the sun was warm. On the courts, students played basketball, their laughter drifting on the breeze. Staring at this lively, hopeful campus, a slow smile crossed his face. "This time, I will not let you down," he promised his parents. "Just wait for me." The warning bell shrieked. He ground the last of the ash into the concrete wall. The rough texture scraping his fingers triggered a phantom memory of rubbing a pistol grip before a raid. Zhao Ye threw an arm over his shoulder as they ran. "Internet cafe after school. The usual spot. The new place has a special deal. I put in 100 yesterday. I will carry you to a win." He did not reply. As he stepped back into the classroom, every eye was on him, some curious, some cautious, some expecting trouble. He sat down, looking straight ahead, his posture as rigid and straight as a soldier. Ling Jixia glanced at him sideways. Today, he sat perfectly upright, his eyes calm and bottomless like a quiet pool. Her heart skipped a beat, and she quickly looked down, pretending to read. Footsteps echoed as their English teacher, Su Yan, walked in carrying exam papers. At 25, she was the youngest teacher here, and the only one who had never given up on him. "Everyone," she said gently, "take out last week's test papers." She placed them on her desk. "The exam was not too difficult, but many of you struggled with the reading comprehension. We will focus on that section today." The sound of flipping pages filled the room. Only Chen Jinshan sat still, his desk cluttered like a trash pile. Su Yan looked at him and said gently, "Chen Jinshan, could you read the first paragraph of the first passage for us? Do not worry about hard words. I will help you." The room went silent as everyone waited for him to fail. But he was lost in thought about his father's construction site, completely missing her words. Seeing his blank stare, Ling Jixia hesitantly nudged him with her elbow, sliding her test paper over. "Read here," she whispered. Looking down, he saw a miserable 52 points scribbled in his own messy handwriting. He took a deep breath, looked at his teacher's encouraging face, and nodded. "Okay." Blondin was a very famous acrobat in the 19th century. He used to walk on a tightrope across the Niagara Falls. He performed this trick many times and became famous all over the world. His pronunciation was flawless. The whole class froze. His English was clear and fluent, sounding just like a foreign radio broadcaster. The pen slipped from Zhao Ye's mouth. Ling Jixia's eyes went wide, and the teacher's chalk stopped midair. He had read the entire text without stopping. Setting the paper down, he saw the stunned silence in the room. He realized that right now, he was supposed to be a flunking student who never passed English. Zhao Ye yelled first, "Holy crap, Shan, that was incredible. When did you secretly learn English?" "Oh my god, is that really Chen Jinshan? He sounds better than the class representative. Did he memorize it?" "No way. We just got this test paper today. How could he memorize it?" "Excellent job, Chen Jinshan," Teacher Su said. "Your spoken English is wonderful. Everyone, let us give him a round of applause." The classroom erupted into a loud, thunderous ovation. He rubbed his nose awkwardly and muttered a thank you. He sat down and handed the paper back. When she took it, her fingers brushed his. They felt as cold as stone, and she quickly pulled away, blushing. Amid the clapping, he was transported back 12 years. 3 days after his mother's funeral, he had tried to enlist. The officer thought he looked too skinny and weak, but he had knelt, bowed his head, and pleaded, "Let me serve. I want to be a soldier. I want to be the best." Moved by his fierce eyes, the commander took him in. During the 3 months of training, he worked harder than anyone. While others ran 5 kilometers, he ran 10. He shot for 3 hours instead of 1. The calluses on his hands thickened, and his blisters tore and healed, but he never complained. Soon, he made it to Border Patrol, then the narcotics unit. His final mission was capturing a kingpin named Sang Kun. in a brutal, rain-swept jungle battle. 3 of his comrades fell there forever. Inside a dark cave, he cornered the wounded kingpin. Sang-kun held a live grenade, a strange, glowing jade pendant hanging from his neck. "Kill me, and you die too," the man sneered. "This jade pendant is a sacred object. It will curse you." Chen Jinshan said nothing, stepping toward Sang-kun. Sang-kun suddenly pulled the grenade pin. Chen lunged, grabbing the black pendant on his neck just 1 second before the explosion. Flames then engulfed everything. Back in the classroom, Chen Jinshan instinctively touched his chest. No pendant was there, only a faint, burning warmth. His rebirth was no accident, it was that black jade pendant. He knew that in 35 days, his father would fall from the scaffolding. The pendant, Sang-kun, the drug bust, all of it, could wait. Right now, saving his family was everything. Lost in thought, he suddenly felt a gentle gaze, falling upon him. Turning, he met Lin Jixia's eyes. Her heart skipped a beat, and she quickly looked away, her ears turning beet red. Though staring at the podium, her pen dragged a long ink line across her notebook. Chen Jinshan watched her flushed ear tips and whispered, "Class monitor, I am sorry about earlier. I had a nightmare and lost my head." Lin Jixia gave a soft mumble. Chen Jinshan leaned closer, teasingly asking, "So, why were you staring at me just now? Is there something on my face?" He actually wiped his cheek. Out of the corner of her eye, Lin Jixia rolled her eyes. Trying to look serious, she whispered weakly, "Stop talking and focus on the lesson." Chen Jinshan immediately sat up straight and replied, "You got it." His solemn expression almost made her burst out laughing. Leaning back, Chen Jinshan watched the dappled sunlight through the plane trees outside. He looked up at the blackboard at the back of the room. Written in red chalk was a huge 56. Days until the college entrance exam 56. He knew he had forgotten most of his high school knowledge, but his 32-year-old comprehension and memory were enough for 2 months of intense review. He still wanted to enter the National University of Defense Technology, fulfilling his father's greatest dream. The bell rang on time. Su Yan closed her textbook and smiled. "All right, that is all for today. Class dismissed. Go get some lunch." She never kept them late. The moment she finished, students rushed to the cafeteria like hungry wolves. In an instant, the classroom was empty except for Chen Jinshan and Lin Jixia. She bent over her mistake journal, while Chen Jinshan stayed put. After 12 years, he had forgotten the way to the cafeteria. "Aren't you eating? Go too late, and only soup is left," he asked. She shook her head. "I am not hungry yet. Too many mistakes, it is getting frustrating. I have no appetite," she said. Her notebook was packed with errors, mostly English grammar. "You made a mistake here with the indefinite articles, a and an," he noted. "It is not about whether the first letter is a vowel, but whether its sound is a vowel. For example, in our, the H is silent, so you use ain, not a. Also, check this possessive pronoun. You must distinguish its from its. Its is a possessive pronoun meaning belonging to it, while its is short for it is. You mix them up." Lin Jixia listened in a daze, staring at those corrected mistakes. Suddenly, it clicked. She slapped her forehead in frustration. "Right! How could I be so stupid? Missing such a simple thing. Chen Jinshan, you are so weird today. Your English never used to pass, and on every exam you just guessed the multiple choice questions. But today, you read the whole passage fluently, and even explained grammar. Have you been hiding your talents all this time, playing dumb?" Her bright eyes sparkled with deep curiosity. Feeling self-conscious under her gaze, Chen Jinshan rubbed his nose and muttered vaguely, "Maybe I just suddenly had a breakthrough." Unconvinced, she countered, "A breakthrough? Nobody gets that smart overnight." He quickly changed the subject. "Seriously, let's not dwell on this. Let's go eat, or there really will be nothing left." Though still skeptical, she nodded. "Fine." She closed her notebook, packed her bag, and they walked down the corridor together. The setting sun stretched their shadows long as passing classmates stared at them with curious eyes. Her face flushed again, and she lowered her head, quickening her pace. Soon, they reached the bustling cafeteria. It was packed with students lining up, the rich aroma of food filling the air. Leading the way, Lin Jixia guided Chen Jinshan to a specific window. "The braised pork here is the best, just a bit pricey." He nodded, looking at the food with a wave of nostalgia. It had been 12 years since he last tasted school cafeteria food. Having bought their meals, they sat opposite each other by a window. The atmosphere felt a bit awkward. She kept her head down, picking at her rice, while he ate in silence, his mind consumed with how to warn his father tomorrow. to stay away from that construction site. He couldn't just say, "You will fall off the scaffolding." His father would never believe him and would probably think he had lost his mind. Well, look who it is, Shanzi. Zhao Ye approached with a smirk, carrying his tray. He winked at Chen Jinshan. Not bad, kid? Eating lunch with the class monitor? Is the sun rising in the west today? Lin Jixia's face instantly turned red down to her neck, wishing she could bury her head in her tray. Chen Jinshan glared at Zhao Ye and snapped, "Just eat your food and shut up. I'm not making things up. You two are sitting here alone together and I can't even mention it? Get lost. You're eating so fast to play basketball again, right?" "Yeah, exactly. We scheduled a match against Class 2 after school. They beat us by 1 point last time, so I need revenge. Didn't you used to love playing? I'll pass. I have to write a self-criticism letter in the classroom. The wintermelon wants to check it." "Oh, right. You terrified him today. You definitely owe him one. I am hitting the internet cafe after the game. Join me if you finish." "No, I am not going there anymore." "Seriously? No more internet cafes? Then what are you doing after school?" "Studying." Oh boy, Chen Jinshan has officially lost his mind. After Zhao Ye hurried away with his tray, the tension worsened. Lin Jixia quickly swallowed a few bites and put down her chopsticks. "I am full, let's head back." He nodded, setting his down too. All right. They returned their trays and left the cafeteria together, neither speaking a word. When they stepped back into the classroom, very few people were there. Most were still eating or playing outside. Chen Jinshan returned to his seat, pulling out a notebook and pen to write the 1,000-word self-criticism letter assigned by Wang Maolin. Staring at the blank page, he smiled. Coming back, he had to do something unexpected, otherwise it would be too boring. He began writing. Next to him, a curious Lin Jixia leaned in to look. Neatly written on the page was, "Student Chen Jinshan respectfully presents this before teacher Wang Maolin." She froze, rubbing her eyes to make sure she wasn't seeing things. Looking closer, she confirmed that he was actually writing his apology in classical Chinese. The evening sun cast a glow over his focused face. His pen scratched softly, writing, "Today, during class, my mind drifted, disturbing my classmate Lin and offending the teacher's dignity. My offense is unpardonable." He continued, "Jinshan knows he is unruly and long disliked by teachers. Yet today's actions were truly unintentional." Lin Jixia opened her mouth, speechless. She was now fully convinced that he had been hiding his brilliance all along. Pretending to study her mistake journal, she kept stealing glances at him. For some reason, she eagerly anticipated the evening self-study session, wondering how Wang Maolin would react to this classical prose. The evening reading session buzzed like cicadas on a summer night, noisy yet lazy. Students held their textbooks, lifelessly reciting ancient poems. On the podium, teacher Shen Shuyun rested her throat, occasionally glancing over the classroom. Lin Jixia sat holding her Chinese book, but her eyes kept drifting sideways. Ever since returning to the classroom, Chen Jinshan had been buried in his classical self-criticism, so focused that he hadn't looked up once. Finishing the final word, he put down his pen and stretched. But instead of grabbing his Chinese textbook, he pulled out his math error journal. With 56 days until the exams, math was his biggest weakness. He had to catch up, soon becoming completely absorbed. He didn't notice Wang Maolin slipping through the back door, hands behind his back, belly bouncing like a rolling winter melon. The teacher tapped a desk, instantly making the reading voices louder. His eyes eventually locked on Chen Jinshan. Noticing that he was looking down instead of reading, his expression darkened. Creeping up behind him, Wang Maolin looked down. Unbelievable. Doing math during Chinese self-study. Enraged, he slammed his knuckles on Chen Jinshan's desk 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. The noise drowned out the entire room. Everyone stopped reading, staring at Chen Jinshan. Fuming with rage, the teacher slammed his knuckles on the desk again, the sharp raps echoing through the class. Everyone stopped reading and stared at Chen Jinshan. "What do you think you are doing during Chinese reading time? Can't you hear me?" Only then did Chen Jinshan snap back to reality. He quickly hid his math journal and pulled out his Chinese book. Scratching his head awkwardly, he said, "Sorry, teacher." My mind wandered. Wang Maolin froze, his prepared scolding suddenly stuck in his throat. Usually, when caught slacking, Chen Jinshan would always talk back defiantly. Today, he actually apologized and looked embarrassed. Most of the teacher's anger vanished, but keeping a stern face, he demanded, "Where is the apology letter I asked for this afternoon? Go up and read it. Read it aloud to everyone." Ready for this, Chen Jinshan walked to the podium. While the class expected a joke, he moved slowly, his posture straight and steps incredibly steady. Wang Maolin's face darkened. Was he going to collect an award or deliver an apology? In the back row, Zhao Ye winked and gave him a secret thumbs up. Chen Jinshan ignored him. He reached the podium, set down his paper, and stood straight like a poplar tree with his hands behind his back. The classroom fell dead silent. Everyone held their breath, waiting for him to embarrass himself. Chen Jinshan cleared his throat and read in a deep, powerful voice. As for apologies, one should not copy Chen Jinshan, respectfully submitted before teacher Wang Maolin. The moment he spoke, the class was stunned. In class today, my mind wandered, disrupting my peers and offending the teacher. My misbehavior is inexcusable. Though often unruly and disliked, today's disturbance was completely unintentional. As the ancients said, a teacher for a day is a father for life. They impart wisdom and resolve doubts. Their grace is like a mountain, their rules like the sky. The classroom was so quiet a pin drop would echo. His voice, soft yet clear, reached every corner. Yet, I was too foolish to appreciate your grace, disrupting the class. It was truly disrespectful. You taught us tirelessly, hoping we would succeed. Yet we wasted time playing around. This not only fails your high expectations, but also lets down our parents who raised us. Zhao Ye stared, mouth agape, dropping his pen. Ling Jixia covered her mouth, stifling a laugh. She knew he wrote in classical Chinese, but never expected him to read it so seriously. On stage, Shen Shuyun, her eyes lit up. She listened intently with a surprised smile. Chen Jinshan read on, I deeply regret my grave mistake. I beg your forgiveness and promise to learn from this, changing my ways, and study diligently. I will watch my words, respect my teachers, cooperate with classmates, and honor my parents. Written in haste, these words cannot fully express my deep regret. I beg for your understanding, he concluded. Your student bows to you. Putting down the paper, Chen Jinshan gave Wang Maolin a perfect 90-degree bow. Dead silence filled the room. After 3 long seconds, Shen Shuyun clapped and cheered. Wonderful! Everyone snapped out of it, staring at her. Blushing slightly at her outburst, she looked at Chen Jinshan with open admiration. Brilliantly written, flowing prose and sincere emotion. Chen Jinshan, you have a rare gift for classical Chinese. Keep it up. Don't waste your talent. Of course, a self-criticism is still a self-criticism, so you must keep your word and stop being mischievous. Understood? Yes, Teacher Shen. Down below, Wang Maolin's face flushed with a mix of embarrassment and annoyance. He didn't quite understand the essay, but hearing Shen Shuyun's praise, he knew it was good. Clearing his throat, he scoffed. Fine. As long as you learned your lesson, go sit down and pay attention. No more of this nonsense. Chen Jinshan calmly grabbed his paper. Thank you, Teacher Wang. He walked back to his seat under a sea of complex stares, admiring, shocked, and amused. Sitting down, Chen Jinshan felt a sharp gaze. He turned to meet Ling Jixia's sparkling, searching eyes. Feeling self-conscious, he rubbed his nose. What? Ling Jixia just shook her head. She kept quiet. Wang Maolin approached the podium and whispered to Shen Shuyun. She nodded and left. Instantly, whispers erupted. Was he taking over the class? Or was something else going on? Maybe there was homework to assign. Wang Maolin tapped the desk, silencing the room. He looked around. Quiet down. I have an announcement. School is canceled for the next 2 days. Instantly, the room erupted into loud cheers. Students buzzed with excitement. Yes! Finally, someone shouted. Time to sleep in, another cheered, while others planned internet cafe trips. Wang Maolin slammed the desk, scowling. Quiet! Quiet! This break is for resting, not running wild, Wang Maolin barked. The college entrance exam is close. Be smart. Finish my math worksheets and review all semester notes. Because when you return, we are having a mock exam. Understood? Yes, sir, they groaned. Wang Maolin kept lecturing on safety, studying, and avoiding internet cafes. But in his seat, the heavy weight in Chen Jinshan's heart finally lifted. With this break, he had enough time to go home. He could stop his father from visiting that dangerous construction site and start a plan to ensure his parents never work so hard again. The moment the first bell rang, the classroom buzzed. Kids packed their bags, whispered about holiday plans, and snuck out phones to set up gaming sessions. Chen Jinshan sat quietly, gripping his pen. His bag was packed at his feet, holding just a few clothes and his notebook. Finally, the dismissal bell rang. Like a flipped switch, the room exploded. Someone screamed that they were free. Hurry up, or all the computers at the cyber cafe will be taken. Others headed to the courts. Students flooded out like a tide. Zhao Ye rushed over, slapping his shoulder. Let's go, Shanzi. The new cyber cafe has a promo. Buy 100, get 50 free. I'll carry you to diamond rank today. He was thrilled, but Chen Jinshan just shook his head. No thanks. Again? What's wrong with you? You used to be the first one out the door. Did you change your soul? Chen Jinshan grabbed his bag. I have stuff to do at home. I'm off. Zhao Ye chased him. Wait, isn't your place out of town? Why rush back? I have business, Chen Jinshan replied. At the gate, Zhao Ye kept begging. Just for the morning. I'll take you to the station after. Please? No, we'll hang out later. Go ahead, don't stay out too late. He turned and walked away. Zhao Ye scratched his head watching him go. Man, he's getting weirder by the day. Instead of heading to the station, Chen Jinshan turned into an alley packed with arcades, cyber cafes, and cheap diners, the liveliest part of town. The smell of grease, smoke, and instant ramen hung thick. Walking slowly, Chen Jinshan focused on the end of the alley, where a faded sign read Good Luck Lottery. Looking at the shop, his gaze turned complex. In his past life, he was here with Zhao Ye. While Zhao Ye rushed to grab a computer, he got hungry and bought beef noodles next door. The owner handed him 5 coins. Annoyed by the heavy change, he walked into the lottery shop and bought a 5 yuan scratch-off. It was a dud. But as he turned, a little boy ran in and bought one too. The kid won 1,000,000 yuan. He showed the ticket to the owner, whose face paled. The greedy owner lied, saying it was only 100 yuan. The naive kid left happy with his cash, completely clueless. But Chen Jinshan had seen it all. He still remembered the winning number, 44, matching the prize zone below it, followed by 6 zeros. 1,000,000. But back then, he was just a timid high school kid. One glare from the owner silenced him. He ran off with his noodles, but guilt ate at him. He searched the streets, found the boy, and revealed the truth. The kid ran home crying to his dad. Later, when Chen Jinshan left the cyber cafe, the lottery shop was trashed. Glass shattered, the sign torn down. The diner owner said the kid's dad was a gangster who brought a dozen goons to beat the owner and wreck the store. That crook ended up paying the million and got 15 days in jail. Back then, Chen Jinshan cheered for karma, but wished he had bought that ticket. But now, he was reborn. Chen Jinshan bypassed the lottery shop and hit a convenience store first. He bought a pocket knife, red ink, and gauze. In a public restroom, he soaked the bandage in red ink. He wrapped his left hand in the wet gauze, making it look like a bloody, gruesome injury. He smirked at the mirror, looking like a tough guy. 12 years as an undercover cop in his past life taught him exactly how street thugs behaved. Mimicking them was easy. Hanging a cigarette from his lips, he headed to Good Luck Lottery. Pushing the door open, a thick wave of cigarette smoke hit him. The only person inside was Human Kangforties, balding with a beer belly and a greasy smile. Hey kid, he said. Buying tickets or scratch-offs? But his eyes immediately drifted down to Chen Jinshan's heavily bandaged hand, a flash of fear in his eyes. Chen Jinshan exhaled a ring of smoke and nodded toward the scratch-offs. Give me the 5 yuan ones, he muttered. Hu Mankang's heart skipped a beat. Thinking this kid was a mobster's lackey, Hu quickly bowed, pulling out a thick stack of tickets. Sure. Brand new 5 yuan cards. High win rates. Chen Jinshan scanned them, but his chest tightened. In his past life, only a dozen cards remained. Now, there were over 50. Had his rebirth altered reality? But he was committed. He slammed his 180 yuan savings down. Give me 36. Hu Mankang's eyes lit up. A 180 yuan was huge business. Grinning widely, he said, Go ahead, pick your favorites. Chen Jinshan didn't hold back. He grabbed 36 cards, sat down, and began scratching. Smiling on the outside but laughing within. He figured 36 cards would yield 50 bucks at most. This 180 was free money. Chen Jinshan kept his head down, scratching. The first was blank. Second card, nothing. Third card, still nothing. As the pile of trash grew, Chen Jinshan's face darkened, his palms sweating. Had the $1 million card already been sold? Hu Mankang offered some fake comfort. Don't rush, kid. It is all about luck. Who knows? Maybe the next one wins. Here, kid, this one is on me. Let us be friends. Come back often. Chen Jinshan looked up, his eyes cold. Hu Mankang's smile froze, feeling a bit creeped out. 36 tickets and not even a 5 yuan prize? Boss Hu, are you sure these tickets are legit? Hu Mankang's face fell, and he quickly explained, Kid, you cannot just make things up. My tickets are straight from headquarters, totally legit. It is just bad luck, just bad luck. Chen Jinshan smiled with a trace of cruelty. Standing up, he leaned his bandaged left hand on the counter, his body pressing forward. He stared at Hu Mengkang and said, "My big brother is in a bad mood today. He sent me to get scratch-offs to change his luck. I spent 180 and did not win a thing. Tell me, how do I explain this to him? He has a terrible temper. If he finds out, he might come over and have a nice chat with you." Hu Mengkang turned pale, sweat breaking out on his forehead. He quickly said, No, kid. Let us talk this out, please. Take this one. It is on the house. This one will definitely win, definitely. Chen Jinshan sneered in his heart. Sitting back down, he spat out his cigarette and said, Fine, one last try. If I still do not win, I will have to call my big brother. Hu Manchang nodded frantically. Yes, it will win. Absolutely. Chen Jinshan scratched the top left corner. 2 black numbers appeared clearly. It was 44. The moment he saw 44, his heart skipped a beat. It was this exact number. In his past life, the little boy won with 44. Taking a deep breath to suppress his excitement, he scraped off the remaining areas. Soon, Chen Jinshan saw the familiar 44 in the bottom right. Underneath it were 6 zeros. 1 million. 1 million! Chen Jinshan's lips slowly curled up. He looked up at Hu Mengkang with only one thought in his mind. Nailed it. Hu Mengkang was also staring at the ticket. When he saw that 44 and the string of zeros, his smile vanished instantly. His eyes went wide, his mouth forming an O shape, frozen as if struck by lightning. Leaning closer, he saw the number 44, followed by a long string of zeros. A whole million. He had run this shop for years and never heard of a 5 yuan ticket winning a million. What made it worse was that he had given this ticket away for free. Hu Mengkang glanced at Chen Jinshan's hand, where blood seeped through the bandage. The greed that had just bubbled up withered instantly. Chen Jinshan did not give him time to think, pulling out his phone to call Zhao Ye. The moment the call connected, Zhao Ye shouted, Shanji, where did you run off to? I have got the setup ready, just waiting for you to team up. Chen Jinshan ignored him and went straight into character. Brother, the scratch-offs you had me buy are done. I won a million. Million. Zhao Ye paused for a second, then immediately caught on and played along, shouting, What? A million? Real or fake? Hu Mengkang quickly leaned in to eavesdrop. Chen Jinshan threw him a cold glance and continued. No need to bring your guys here. I can just scan the code on my phone to redeem the prize. They will just deduct the tax and transfer it to my card. Carrying cash is too risky. On the other end, Zhao Ye turned on his inner actor and yelled, All right, handle it cleanly. I will give you 20,000 for your trouble. Chen Jinshan secretly laughed but sounded thrilled. Thanks, brother. No need for that much. I was just running an errand for you. Then, he purposely lowered his voice, just loud enough for Hu Mengkang to hear. Brother, about that fight I got into yesterday. Did you settle it for me? I am a bit nervous. What are you scared of? You are a minor. Just pay some money and it is over. The police cannot do anything to you. Chen Jinshan turned the volume all the way up and pretended not to hear. Brother, say that again? I did not catch it. Zhao Ye yelled back, I said, as a minor, you face no criminal liability. Once the money is paid, it is totally settled. Every word fell clearly onto Hu Mengkang's ears, and his face turned pale. It was true. This kid was just a high schooler. If things turned ugly, a shop owner like him would lose everything. Chen Jinshan intentionally stretched, parting his jacket to reveal a fruit knife tucked into his waistband, still stained with red. Hu Mengkang shuddered, his last shred of greed completely vanishing. No matter how good a million was, you had to be alive to spend it. Chen Jinshan hung up, smiled at him, and said calmly, Boss, let us cash it out. Show me how it works. Inside the shop, Hu Mengkang no longer dared to try anything. He squeezed out a forced smile and said, Sure. I will set it up for you. 1 million in prize money, minus 200,000 in taxes. Watching the message confirm the arrival of 800,000, Chen Jinshan finally felt at ease. Under Hu Mengkang's resentful gaze, Chen Jinshan swaggered out of the lottery shop. The solid 800,000 yuan in his bank account gave him complete peace of mind. Walking into an empty alley, he immediately discarded the bandage and the fruit knife, destroying them completely to avoid leaving any trouble. Having dealt with the evidence, Chen Jinshan headed to a noodle shop, bought a bowl of pork noodles with an egg and a bottle of soda, and made his way to the internet cafe. Inside, the noisy place echoed with Zhao Ye slamming his keyboard, cursing his teammates for their terrible play, and feeding the enemy. Chen Jinshan walked over and patted his shoulder. Zhao Ye turned around impatiently, but his face brightened when he saw who it was. You are finally here. These teammates are useless. Chen Jinshan set the noodles and soda on the table, tossing him a pack of his usual cigarettes. Seeing the food, Zhao Ye surrendered the game immediately, pulled the bowl over, and started eating, praising, You are the best, Shanji. Chen Jinshan smiled, saying, Cut the talk. Zhao Ye took a few bites of noodles and leaned in to ask, What was that call about earlier? You were being so mysterious. Ran into a couple of troublemakers. Just put on an act to scare them off so I would not get cheated. I knew it, my acting was spot on, right? Next time you run into them, call me. We will take them down together. Sure, I will definitely call you next time. But Chen Jinshan was preoccupied with his family affairs and did not want to waste time. I have to head home now. There is an urgent matter. You are not staying for a couple of games? At least get the daily win. No, things at home cannot wait. Seeing his resolve, Zhao Ye nodded and warned, All right, be careful on the road. Chen Jinshan said goodbye, left the internet cafe, and headed straight to the bus station. He bought a ticket for the coach, embarking on this long-awaited, heavy journey home. The bus rattled toward Hepping Township. Poplar trees sped past the window. Leaning against the glass, Chen Jinshan felt a bitter ache in his chest, carrying the weight of 2 lifetimes of regret. The warm spring sun beat down on him, but the more excited he got, the heavier his steps felt. He desperately wanted to rush home, yet feared all of this was just a dream he might wake up from. He only snapped out of it when the bus stopped at the entrance of Hepping Township. First, he went to a grocery store and bought a bag of apples and bananas, then got into a small van heading to the village. The van rattled onward. Chen Jinshan's home sat right beside the main village road, opposite a small local market and surrounded by vegetable fields, the very land his parents relied on to make a living. 20 minutes later, Chen Jinshan got off at his doorstep. Looking at the familiar red brick courtyard, the dried vegetables hanging, and the baskets by the door, his steps faltered, not daring to walk in. Behind him, a familiar voice called out. Auntie Zhang from next door, carrying a vegetable basket back from the fields, asked, Jinshan, how come you are back on holiday? Chen Jinshan collected his emotions and gave a polite greeting. Auntie Zhang smiled warmly. Right. The college entrance exams are coming up. A break is good to rest and adjust. Not wanting to say too much, Chen Jinshan just said, Auntie Zhang, I will head inside first. He quickly walked through the courtyard gate. Inside, his mother, Liu Gilan, heard the noise and peeked out of the main room, her eyes meeting his. She asked gently, Jinshan, why are you back? You did not even call ahead so I could save some food for you. Looking at this face that had appeared in his dreams countless times, Chen Jinshan's nose tingled with emotion. It took him a long moment to choke out. Mom, I am home. Liu Gilan was a bit surprised. Her son had not spoken to her so softly in a long time. She put down the vegetables she was holding, wiped her hands on her apron, and asked warmly, It is good to have you back. Are you hungry? Have you eaten? Trying to hide his emotion, Chen Jinshan acted casual. Not yet, Mom. Any leftovers? Liu Gilan grabbed 2 green peppers from the basket and walked toward the kitchen. Yes, we might not have much, but we have plenty of vegetables. I will heat them up. It is almost dinner time anyway. Not seeing his father, Chen Jinshan asked, Where is Dad? Liu Gilan replied, He went to town to fetch produce and should be home soon. I will rush the cooking so we can eat by 4 o'clock. Chen Jinshan placed the fruit on the table corner and slowly walked through this house that felt both familiar and strange. Hearing an electric tricycle brake outside, he quickly ran out and saw his father, Chen Shoye, riding back, the flatbed piled high with vegetables. He rushed over and called out, Dad, let me help. Chen Jinshan reached out and slung a sack of potatoes over his shoulder. Chen Shoye froze, speechless. Since starting high school, this son of his had rarely talked to him, yet today, he was voluntarily helping. Chen Shoye asked in a low voice, When did you get back? Is school on break? Chen Jinshan replied, We got off this morning. Yes, this morning. Without wasting words, father and son quickly unloaded the sacks. As Chen Shoye bent down to unload the last bag of carrots, Chen Jinshan noticed a pain relief patch on his lower back. His heart clenched. Dad, is your back hurting again? Chen Shoye felt a bit awkward receiving such care from his son, but his heart warmed. It is nothing, it feels better with the patch. Chen Jinshan said nothing more, but secretly cursed his past, selfish self. Liu Gilan brought the dishes to a small square table in the yard, shouting with a smile, Wash up and eat. Chen Jinshan replied, Coming. Mom! Chen Shui also mumbled, "Be right there." On the old wooden table sat stir-fried pork with peppers, cabbage, tomato and egg ribs, soup, and egg drop soup. Before his father sat a cup of bulk liquor. The three of them gathered around. This simple meal was exactly the warmth Chen Jinshan had yearned for most. Chen Shouye had just poured a small cup of liquor and was about to bring it to his lips when Chen Jinshan suddenly reached out, snatched the cup, and said seriously, "Dad, you have high blood pressure. Stop drinking. Your health is more important than anything." Chen Shouye was stunned, staring blankly at his son. Lu Gilan was surprised and touched, immediately chiming in, "Why are you staring? Our son is right. Put the alcohol away." Chen Shouye felt a bit strange, but he still nodded. "All right." He obediently pushed the bottle far to the corner of the table. Chen Jinshan sat back down to eat, while his parents quietly exchanged glances, their eyes filled with pleasant surprise and disbelief. Lu Gilan picked up a piece of tender rib and gently placed it in Jinshan's hands, trembled over his bowl. But this time, instead of getting annoyed, he ate it and whispered, "Thanks, Mom." Guilan and Shouye froze, staring at each other in utter disbelief. Shouye gave his wife a quick look, and Guilan understood instantly. "Jinshan, are you having trouble at school? Talk to me if you are hurting. Don't bottle it up." "No trouble at all," he said, but Guilan still worried. "Are you sure?" Jinshan realized his sudden change was throwing them off. He smiled and said, "Mom, really, I didn't do anything wrong. I'd tell you first if I did." Shouye frowned, losing his patience. "Did you fight again? Or did the teacher call?" Jinshan set down his chopsticks. "Mom, Dad, I swear I'm not in trouble." The couple relaxed slightly, but then Jinshan added, "But I do want to talk about something." Instantly, both parents dropped their chopsticks, their hearts jumping back into their throats. Taking a deep breath, Jinshan looked at his aging parents and whispered, "Mom, Dad, I am so sorry." Gilan gripped her shirt hem, while Shouye's face hardened, expecting a disaster. Gilan's eyes welled up as she asked with a shaking voice, "What happened?" "Don't scare me." Seeing their panic, Jinshan felt a wave of warmth and regret. "I had a dream that felt so real. I dreamed I was a complete jerk, wasting my life making you angry. I wore you both out until you passed away, leaving me all alone." His parents listened, their hearts pounding. "In the dream, I was eaten alive by regret. I wanted to be the son you wanted. So later, I joined the military and became a real man, just like you always wanted, Dad. But no matter how strong I got, you weren't there to see it. That's when I realized that the most useless thing in the world is regret." Tears poured down Gilan's cheeks, and even tough Shouye felt a lump in his throat. Jinshan looked at them, his eyes filled with absolute determination. "Thank God I woke up. I still have time to change and take care of you. That's why I wanted to say I'm sorry." Jinshan softly called, "Dad." Shouye choked out a reply. Then Jinshan called, "Mom." Gilan was already sobbing, but quickly managed to choke out, "Yes, Mom is here. Mom is here." Jinshan continued, "From now on, I'm going to study hard, stay out of trouble, and take care of you. I'll never let you worry again." "Good. Mom thanks you," she cried. Shouye turned his head to wipe his eyes, but still asked, "You really didn't get into trouble out there?" Jinshan felt a warm wave of amusement. "Dad, I really didn't," Jinshan replied. "I just finally grew up." Shouye finally relaxed and nodded. Then he nudged his wife. "Why are you crying? Our boy growing up is a happy thing." "Stop those tears. I'm crying because I'm happy." "All right, fine. Let's eat. The food is getting cold." "Jinshan, let Mom scoop you some egg soup." She handed him a bowl packed with rich ingredients. Holding his bowl, Jinshan watched his parents bicker, his heart burning with warmth. "Mom's cooking is the absolute best," he said softly. Now that they had opened up, the tension melted. Gilan kept piling ribs, eggs, and greens onto his plate. Jinshan ate everything, even though his stomach was stuffed. When he finished, he wiped his mouth and set down his chopsticks. "Mom, Dad, there's one more thing." Instantly, both Shouye and Gilan tensed up again. "Son, are you hiding something? If you're in trouble, we'll sell everything to help. Why don't you trust me?" "It's not bad news. It's great news." "Then spit it out. Don't keep us hanging. You're killing us. You're killing us." Today after school, I had 5 yuan left in my pocket. I saw a lottery shop nearby and bought a scratch-off. I actually won. I thought it was a big deal. "Winning 5 or 10 yuan is just enough for a bottle of water," Shouye muttered, taking a sip from his glass. Jinshan shook his head. "I won a lot." Gilan's eyes lit up. A lot? Like 1,000 yuan? Jinshan shook his head. Shou Ye set down his glass, surprised. 8,000? Jinshan shook his head. Gilan covered her mouth, her voice shaking. Don't tell me it is 80,000? Jinshan smiled. After taxes, it is 800,000. Both parents gasped in shock. They froze in their seats. What did you say? 800,000? That is impossible. Jinshan, be honest. Where did this money come from? Did you do something illegal? Yeah, son. We might be poor, but we have pride. Don't go down a bad path. Mom, Dad, relax. I didn't do anything wrong. It's really from a scratch-off. I would never lie to you guys. Jinshan pulled out his phone, showing them a photo of the ticket. Look, the winning number is 44. It shows 1 million. After 20% tax, that's 800,000. Next, he opened his bank app to show his balance. Look, this card ending in 3619 has 799,782.6 yuan left. It was 800,000. But I spent 217 on fruit, tickets, and lunch. Shoye and Gilan leaned closer, staring unblinkingly at the screen. That long string of numbers made their heads spin. They had grown vegetables their whole lives but never seen this much money. Suddenly, Shoye gasped, clutching his thigh and glaring at Gilan. Why did you pinch me? Does it hurt? Of course it hurts. Great, so it's not a dream. We really have money. We are going to save this to buy our son a house and a wife. Why didn't you pinch your own leg? Shoye grumbled, but his massive grin gave him away. Dad, give me your bank card number. I will transfer the money to you. Transfer? Give it to your mom. She runs the household finances. I just sit back. Do what your father says. Jinshan smiled, tapping his phone to send the 800,000 to his mother, leaving just 5.4 yuan for himself. Gilan beamed at the confirmation text. Son, I won't touch a single penny of this. I will save it all. Once you get into college, buy a house, and get married, I will hand it right back. Sounds good. He knew his mother would keep it safest. Mom, Dad, tomorrow let's go to the town hospital for full checkups. You both do heavy labor all year round, so your bodies must have some wear and tear. Finding things early means curing them early. Gilan immediately waved her hand. Why waste money? We are perfectly healthy. We eat huge meals. Go by yourself. You can't get sick before the college entrance exam. Shoei nodded. Yeah, we don't need that. This time, you have to listen to me. If you go, I promise I'll get into a top university. Both Shoye and Gilan froze, their eyes filled with utter shock. It seemed impossible. But seeing his serious face, they didn't want to discourage him. Gilan quickly said, Fine, we'll go. Just do your best on the exam. Don't stress. Worst case scenario, you can study another year. We can afford it. Jinshan smiled at his doubtful parents. For him, getting them to the hospital was all that mattered. This time, he would save his father and protect this family. After dinner, Jinshan rushed to clear the table. Gilan tried to stop him twice but failed. So she stood by the kitchen door, happily watching him wash up and wipe down the table. Next, Jinshan ran out to sort the vegetables for tomorrow's market, organizing them neatly. He even pushed Shoei onto a stool. You rest, Dad. I've got this. Shoei rubbed his hands, unable to hide his massive grin as he watched his busy son. He and Gilan locked eyes, both sharing the exact same thought. Their boy had grown up. While Jinshan worked, Gilan slipped upstairs with a fresh, sun-dried quilt to replace his old bedding, fluffing his pillow perfectly. By the time Jinshan finally headed up to bed, his room was filled with the scent of fresh laundry and sunshine. Lying on his old wooden bed, he stared at the ceiling, feeling deeply at peace. A faded one-piece poster hung nearby, next to stacks of comic books and unopened game discs. Things he once treasured now meant nothing to him. Jinshan found a large sack and packed away the comics, posters, and games. When his hand touched the poster of Luffy, he paused, folded it gently, slipped it inside, and whispered, Goodbye. He stuffed the sack under his bed, instantly making the room feel lighter. Jinshan lay back down and drifted off. No battles, no tragic goodbyes, only the gentle hum of insects and his parents' soft footsteps outside. The next morning at 6 a.m., Jinshan woke up. Rubbing his eyes as he walked downstairs, he saw the yard was already buzzing. His parents had neatly arranged baskets of fresh greens, tomatoes, and cucumbers. Mom, Dad, morning. They turned around, surprised to see him. Gilan hurried over. Why are you up so early on your day off? Go back to sleep. I'm wide awake, Jinshan replied. Just wanted to see if I could help. No need. We've got this. Go sit inside and I'll boil some eggs for you. Instead, Jinshan pulled up a small wooden stool and sat right next to the stand. I'm staying right here to keep you company. Gilan couldn't argue, so she let him stay. Gilan, weigh 2 pounds of tomatoes for me. Morning, Grandma. Is your grandson back? He is back. He always craves my tomato scrambled eggs whenever he returns. Lu Gilan picked several large red tomatoes, smiling. Then you must buy more. It is 2.2 pounds, just 3 yuan is fine. After saying that, she stuffed an extra small tomato into the bag. Grandma Li smiled and paid, saying, You sweet child, always giving extra. After she left with her basket, Chen Jinshan sat nearby, silently memorizing every vegetable's price. Right then, Uncle Zhao rode up on his bicycle. Give me a pound of spinach and a bunch of green onions. Chen Jinshan leaped up to help. Sure thing, Uncle Zhao. He quickly weighed the veggies. That will be 4.5 yuan. Uncle Zhao finally recognized him and smiled. Oh, is that you, Jinshan? Are you on break? Chen Jinshan nodded. I got back yesterday. Back yesterday? The college entrance exam is coming up, right? Study hard and get into a good university so your parents can finally relax. Don't worry, Uncle Zhao, I will definitely make it happen. Uncle Zhao smiled and rode off. A few more customers trickled in. Chen Jinshan helped weigh vegetables and count change with impressive speed. Watching him work, Chen Shui and Lu Guilan felt their hearts swell with pure pride. Around 9 o'clock, the market crowd thinned out. Chen Jinshan helped his parents move the leftover produce inside. Wiping his hands, he said, Let's go to the clinic for your checkup now. His mother replied, Let's eat first. I will go whip up some lunch. No, you have to fast for a checkup. No food or water allowed. Once we are done, I am taking you to a restaurant in town. Chen Shoye and Lu Guilan exchanged puzzled glances. They had no idea such a rule existed. Lu Guilan asked skeptically, Is that really true? Chen Jinshan explained that blood draws and liver tests required an empty stomach. Chen Shoye nodded. All right, we will listen to you. He wheeled out their electric tricycle. In the past, Chen Jinshan was always too embarrassed to ride in the back of a tricycle. But now, as the wind swept through his hair, staring at his father's broad shoulders, he felt only deep warmth. 20 minutes later, they arrived at the Peace Township Clinic. It was modest, just a single 3-story building, but fully equipped nonetheless. As Chen Jinshan headed to the counter to pay, Lu Gilan stopped him. She pulled out a tightly wrapped handkerchief from her pocket and opened it layer by layer, revealing a stack of small bills. Mom, I have money. Don't use your living allowance. Mom, I have my own money. Keep yours. But this checkup must be expensive. Is 1,700 yuan enough? It is plenty. The total for all three of us is 1,680 yuan. That much? How many pounds of potatoes do we have to sell to make that back? Come on. Our son is trying to care for us. What is wrong with spending a little? His mother grumbled but stopped arguing, letting him take their ID cards to the counter. He finished the registration and returned with 3 checkup forms. Let's go. I will lead the way. Chen Jinshan held his mother's hand as they walked, while his father followed behind, a warm smile spreading across his face. The hallway was quiet, bathed in warm, golden sunlight. Chen Jinshan had chosen the most thorough screening package available, including complete blood counts, liver and kidney panels, blood sugar, lipids, electrocardiograms, and full abdominal ultrasounds. He even added a specialized gynecological checkup for his mother. Small towns had their perks. With no crowds, they did not have to wait in any long lines. In under an hour, they finished everything. The nurse handed over the slip. Results will take 2 hours. Go get some lunch. Chen Jinshan nodded. Sure, thank you. Let's go eat. Today, my treat. Order whatever you want, his mother announced. Chen Jinshan grinned. In that case, I am not holding back. Let's eat at that iron pot chicken place at the corner. They rode the tricycle to Old Wang's restaurant. It was a cozy little spot with only 5 tables, but the rich aroma drifted down the entire block. Uncle Wang greeted them warmly. Welcome. The usual? A medium chicken pot with corn flatbreads? Yes, and add some dried green beans and wide noodles, please. Got it. Give me 10 minutes. Even though it was already past 1 in the afternoon, there were still 2 tables of diners left. Chen Shoye lit a cigarette, took a drag, and said, After this, I need to hit the wholesale market to restock. I have to set up the stall tomorrow. No rush. We have plenty of time. Chen Jinshan poured them some warm water and sat quietly. Soon, a steaming pot of savory chicken arrived, lined with golden corn pancakes. Enjoy, Uncle Wang called out. The 3 of them dug in happily. The chicken was incredibly tender, and the corn flatbreads soaked up the rich broth, tasting better than any fancy city restaurant. For Chen Jinshan, This simple meal was the definition of true happiness. Afterward, they stopped at the wholesale market. Chen Jinshan eagerly carried the heavy sacks and crates himself. His mother watched anxiously, calling out, "Slow down, do not throw your back out." Chen Jinshan laughed. "I am fine. I am young and strong." Chen Shoye watched his son with a growing, proud smile. At exactly 3 in the afternoon, they returned to the clinic. Chen Jinshan picked up the reports. The nurse instructed, "Take these to Director Wang on the second floor. He will go over the details with you." Chen Jinshan thanked her politely and led his parents upstairs, where he knocked on the office door. A voice called out, "Come in." Director Wang was an experienced physician who had worked at the clinic for over 30 years. Chen Jinshan handed over the paperwork. "Director Wang, we are here for the results." The doctor put on his reading glasses. "All right, let me see at these first." After scanning Chen Shoye's file, the doctor looked up. "You are Chen Shoye, right?" He nervously rubbed his hands. "Yes, doctor." Pointing at the figures, the doctor warned, "Your blood pressure is quite high. 162/98. Both indicate stage 2 hypertension. You drink regularly, do you not?" Chen Shoye sheepishly admitted, "Just a glass every afternoon." The doctor shook his head. "That has to stop. Your triglycerides are 2.8 and uric acid is 460. Both are way too high. Keep this up and you are headed for major trouble." Chen Jinshan asked anxiously, "Is it serious, doctor? What medicine does he need?" The doctor reassured them, "Do not panic. We caught it early. Quit drinking, cut back on salt and fat, and I will write a prescription for some daily blood pressure medication. Come back in 2 weeks. Once we get these numbers down, your stroke risk drops significantly." Chen Jinshan and his mother sighed in relief, though his father looked miserable. Director Wang then flipped to the next page. "Now, regarding your spine. Your L4 and L5 discs are bulging, compressing the nerve. Do you experience constant lower back pain and leg numbness?" Chen Shoye nodded eagerly. "Yes, exactly. Especially after heavy lifting, the pain is so intense I cannot even stand up straight." The doctor sighed. "It is from chronic overwork. It shouldn't be this bad at your age." Chen Jinshan asked, "What do we do? Does he need surgery?" "No, surgery is not necessary yet, but he must remain strictly in bed for at least 2 weeks, and absolutely no heavy labor or bending for 3 months. Hearing this, Chen Shui panicked. "I can't do that. What about the market stall? Who will tend the fields?" Chen Jinshan spoke up firmly. "We are shutting the stall down for a month. As for the fields, I already hired Uncle Wang next door. We will pay him 80 yuan a day from my savings." Chen Shuye tried to argue. "Lying around all day will drive me crazy. Crazy or not, you must rest. Your health is more important than anything. If you collapse, what happens to this family?" "Exactly, Dad. We do not need to worry about money now. Just treat this as a vacation to recover. Once you are healed, you can do whatever you want." "All right, I will listen to you guys. That is the spirit. Health is your greatest asset. You can always earn more money, but without your health, you have nothing." "Thank you, doctor." Chen Jinshan took the prescription and headed to the pharmacy to pick up the medicine before leading his parents out. The setting sun bathed them in a warm golden glow. Knowing they had no major illnesses brought Chen Jinshan immense relief. His father had minor issues, his mother had mild anemia, while 17-year-old Chen Jinshan himself was bursting with youthful energy. They decided to schedule his father's minor back surgery for June 10th, right after the college entrance exam. Chen Jinshan wanted it done sooner, but his parents adamantly refused, worried it would distract him. Chen Jinshan could not convince them and had to agree. Fortunately, avoiding heavy lifting would prevent any major issues for now. At dusk, they rode the tricycle home with half a load of vegetables his mother cooked while he and his father organized the stall. Dinner was a cozy meal of 4 dishes and a soup. His father took the doctor's advice to heart, leaving the alcohol bottle untouched and drinking only water. Chen Jinshan smiled warmly at the sight. The next afternoon, he prepared to head back to school. Traveling light, he carried only a backpack with a few textbooks. Though classes did not start until evening study hall, everything at home was settled. Now, his sole focus was the college entrance exam. In his past life, he had scored a miserable 217, failing to even make the vocational cutoff. After his parents passed, he spent 12 years in the military, eventually becoming an undercover narcotics officer. Though he lacked college, rigorous tactical training had sharpened his mind far beyond average. With 2 months of solid review, getting into a top military academy would be easy. At school, he and his buddy Zhao Ye consistently ranked at the very bottom of their class. But Zhao Ye's family owned a thriving hardware store, and he often joked about just inheriting the business, so studying is optional. I just need a diploma. Their bond was forged in a freshman year street fight. That afternoon, 3 local thugs had cornered Zhao Ye in an alley, demanding money. Carrying fresh steamed buns, Chen Jinshan happened to walk past. Without hesitating, he tossed the buns aside, grabbed a wooden stick, and charged in. Together, they beat the thugs until they fled in terror, cementing their lifelong brotherhood. Stepping off the bus, Chen Jinshan headed straight to the internet cafe nearby, knowing exactly where to find his friend. Sure enough, in a dark corner, Zhao Ye was intensely gaming, controlling his character from the bushes. Chen Jinshan leaned in and whispered, "Ice Mage is coming. Strike!" Zhao Ye's eyes lit up, and he lunged forward, shouting his favorite battle cry. But after unleashing his combo, his screen instantly went gray. He had been ambushed by 3 opponents who completely crushed him. Zhao Ye spun around in a rage, yelling, "Who the heck is that?" Only to find Chen Jinshan grinning right behind him. Chen Jinshan said with a straight face, "It wasn't me. You're just terrible. You could have escaped, but you threw." Zhao Ye snapped back, "Bullshit. I charged because you called it. Look at my score 0 and 11. It's on you." Chen pointed at the screen. "It is 0 and 12. You just died, so this doesn't count," Zhao Ye argued, blaming their teammates. Jinshan laughed, calling him a 0 and 12 legend. Zhao scratched his head. "Why so early? I thought you would arrive tonight. Log in and play a couple of rounds with me." Chen nodded. "Sure. Just 2 games, then back to class for evening self-study." He went to the counter to pay. Honestly, he had outgrown gaming, but he didn't want to ruin his best friend's mood. 10 minutes later, Zhao slapped his keyboard, yelling, "Damn it, Jinshan, what are you doing? Are you saving your flash for next year? Run. Use your skills. Are auto attacks going to tire you out?" Jinshan felt incredibly guilty. The last time he played this game was during high school, over 10 years ago. He had barely remembered the skill keys. "Holy crap, Jinshan, you're a beast. Surrounded by 5 and you got a triple kill? This dual ranger play is insane. Jinshan, stop hitting the dragon and save us. The 4 of us traded for their support. They only have 4 left. Let's wipe them out. 2 games are done. Time to head back to school. Come on, just 1 more, the absolute last one." "No way. We'll be late for self-study. After the college entrance exam, I'll play all night with you." Zhao's eyes lit up. "It's a deal. Whoever sleeps first is a chicken." Jinshan laughed and agreed. "It's a deal." They paid, slung their arms over each other's shoulders, and walked out. The sunset cast long shadows behind them. Looking at Zhao's carefree smile, Jinshan felt a wave of warmth inside. At 6 p.m., they were at the local diner near the school gate, eating noodles and steamed dumplings before slowly strolling back. When they wandered into the building, 15 minutes remained before self-study. Class 7 was chaotic. Having just returned from a 2-day break, everyone was still completely distracted. Students gathered in loud groups, making the room sound like a busy market. Jinshan returned to his seat and set down his bag. His desk mate, Lin Jixia, was already seated, frowning over a math problem. Her pen scribbled on scratch paper. Jinshan leaned over and took a quick glance. "The answer to the first part is 5. The second part is what's blocking you, right?" Lin Jixia snapped her head up, eyes wide with shock. "You actually know how to solve this?" she asked in disbelief. She was the top student, yet she had struggled all afternoon. Jinshan always ranked dead last, so how could he possibly solve it? He just smiled without explaining, taking her pen and scratch paper to begin writing. Lin Jixia's cheeks flushed slightly. He quickly finished the first part, his handwriting neat and his steps incredibly clear. Lin Jixia looked and saw it was completely correct. Then, he began explaining the second part. The key here is case-by-case analysis, based on the maximum element of set A. If the maximum element is K, then set A can only choose from 1 to K-1. Since each element is optional, there are 2 to the power of K-1 possibilities. Jinshan explained slowly, breaking down every step. Correspondingly, elements of set B must be larger than K, chosen from K plus 1 to N, which leaves N minus K options, excluding the empty set, which leaves 2 to the power of N minus K minus 1 possibilities. Lin Jixia listened intently, completely unaware that the classroom had gone dead silent, let alone that a chubby figure was standing right behind them. K can be any integer from 1 to N minus 1. So, adding up all the cases gives us the answer. Got it? Yes, I completely get it. Jinshan leaned back, but instead of hitting the hard edge of the desk, his back pressed against something incredibly soft and round. He looked back, only to lock eyes with the smiling face of his math teacher, Meng Songnian. The classroom was dead silent. Everyone pretended to study, except for Zhao Ye, whose shoulders shook from holding back laughter. Jinshan sat up straight. Teacher Meng. Mr. Meng gestured, still smiling. He lowered his voice. Jinshan, step outside with me. Jinshan had no choice but to follow him out under the gloating stares of his classmates. From the back row, Zhao Ye silently gestured a good luck sign, making Jinshan curse him in his head for being a terrible friend. Following Meng Songnian across the hallway, they stopped outside the math department office. Instead of heading inside, Mr. Meng kept his hands behind his back and smiled. I saw you explaining that problem to Lin Jixia. Your logic was clear and precise. You've really been working hard lately. Jinshan rubbed his nose. I guess so. Mr. Meng stroked his chin and smiled, causing Jinshan's heart to sink. Sure enough, Mr. Meng said slowly, you scored 32 on last month's math exam. I kept your mistake log. He then added, why don't we use this opportunity to go over those mistakes? Jinshan wanted to protest, but Mr. Meng, you have evening self-study soon. Mr. Meng's smile widened. No worries. I'll let Wang Maolin know. Studying in the office is still studying, right? Internally, Jinshan rolled his eyes, but he managed a grateful look. Thank you, Mr. Meng. I'll work hard on them. Just then, their homeroom teacher, Wang Maolin, walked out holding his thermos, looking confused. What's going on here, Mr. Meng chuckled. Nothing. Jinshan has made great progress lately. I want him to spend evening self-study here, solving math problems to build up his basics. Is that all right? Wang Maolin's eyes widened. Jinshan. Solving math problems? He knew Jinshan's poor grades all too well. Still, this was a good thing. He nodded quickly. Of course. Yes, absolutely. Sorry for the trouble, Mr. Meng. He turned to Jinshan, lecturing. Learn well from Mr. Meng. This is a rare opportunity. Don't slack off. Jinshan nodded obediently. Got it, Mr. Wang. Once Wang Maolin left, Mr. Meng patted Jinshan on the shoulder. All right, drop the act. Follow me inside. The office door opened, releasing a scent of chalk dust mixed with tea. Only a few people were inside. Mr. Meng walked to his desk, pulled a thick notebook from his drawer, and placed it before Jinshan. I've organized all your mistakes from last month's exam. Review these tonight first. Ask me if you get stuck. He added, we'll do a mock exam later. Looking at the neatly organized notebook, Jinshan felt touched. For the first time, he realized that Mr. Meng had never given up on him. Outside, it grew dark. Only desk lamps and quiet breathing filled the office. Mr. Meng pulled out a mock exam, pushed 2 sheets of scratch paper forward and said, it is 6:40 now. Hand it in at 8:40, and I'll grade it on the spot. Jinshan nodded. All right, Mr. Meng. He sat down, picked up a pen, and began working on the test.